Welcome to the Global Hosting Toolkit, or GHTK for short. In this video tutorial, we will discuss how to handle requests that are declined. We will explain when you can expect this and how to proceed. For this tutorial, we assume you have completed tutorials 1 through 7. There are 3 documents that can be declined: the hosting submission form, the itinerary, and the guest list. When submitting your hosting submission form, these documents can be declined due to various reasons. Some of these reasons, such as budget or incorrect information, can be remedied. For these cases, you can make some changes and resubmit it for approval. Let's have a look at the steps to track and resubmit each document for reassessment. Remember, resubmitting your document does not guarantee an approval. It simply requests a reconsideration. While awaiting approval, your request will be in the Pending Approval tab of your communicator. See tutorial number 1, Basic Principles and Terminology, for the 3 authorities involved in the approval process. The process for reopening a declined hosting for reconsideration is the same for each authority. During this video, we will discuss the process of the country manager declining a SAT-hosted project. Your country manager will receive a request to review your hosting submission form, whereupon it can be either approved or declined. You will receive an email as soon as the hosting request was approved or declined. If your request has been declined, it will have moved to the Declined tab of your communicator. Your communicator log will show that the request has been declined, as well as the reason for the decision to decline it. You will have an option to reopen, edit, and submit that hosting request. This option is called Edit Hosting. If the reason for the decline of the hosting request is something you can remedy on the system, go ahead and click on the Edit Hosting button. Clicking this button will take you to a page where you can make changes to your hosting request on the original form you completed. You will notice how the previous information is saved to the form for easy editing. After completing your changes, you will notice a new field at the bottom of the form, requesting a reason for the edit. Give a short explanation why the changes resolve the concern which led to the form being declined. This field is not required, but it will improve the chances of approval as well as to fast-track the process. Once you are happy with your changes, submit the form for approval. This will send the form for reconsideration by the manager that has declined it previously. The hosting will move to the Pending Approval tab once you have sent it for reconsideration. Remember, if you receive an approval from either the country manager or the global product manager, the form may still be declined by the CMO. You may have multiple decline actions on a single hosting, and you can repeat this process every time. Next, we will discuss an itinerary that has been declined. As per tutorial 6, Outsourced Hosting Projects, your project may either have a static or a dynamic itinerary. Both types of itinerary can be submitted for reconsideration using the steps we will discuss next. As with a declined hosting submission form, the declined itinerary will be in the Declined tab of the communicator. From the log, you can see the reason for declining the itinerary. To make changes, click on the Create or Edit Itinerary button. This button will take you back to your itinerary planner, where you can make the necessary changes to the itinerary. Your events will be displayed on the calendar, and you can edit them by following the steps from tutorial 4, How to Build an Itinerary. Once you are satisfied with the changes you have made, add a reason why the changes resolve the concerns that were raised, and submit the form. The hosting will move to the Pending Approval tab, where you can approve the itinerary. Remember, resubmitting your document does not guarantee an approval. It simply requests a reconsideration. The process for an outsourced itinerary will be somewhat different. In tutorial 6, Outsourced Hosting Projects, we discussed the difference between a static and dynamic itinerary. Submitting a request for reconsideration will include the same documentation. In the Decline tab of your communicator, you will have the option to make changes to your outsourced documents. Remember to check the communicator log for the reason for the decline. Both the itinerary and the documents may need changes, which can be done by clicking on Create or Edit Itinerary. This button will take you back to the Outsource Quotes page. Here you can make the necessary changes to outsource details, as well as replace or add the uploaded documents. From this page, you can also change the itinerary from static to dynamic. See Tutorial 6, Outsourced Hosting Projects, for more details on the difference between a static and a dynamic itinerary. Once you are satisfied with the changes you have made, click the Submit button to send the information for reconsideration. The hosting will move to the Pending Approval tab, where you can approve the outsourced itinerary. Remember, resubmitting your document does not guarantee an approval, it simply requests a reconsideration. If your guest list has been declined, you can find the hosting in the Decline tab of the communicator as per usual. Remember, the guest list includes only the details of the guest. For information on how to add or remove guests, reference tutorials 5, 8, and 9. You can edit the guest details by clicking on Edit Guest List. This will take you to your guest list form, with the details you added previously saved to the form. To edit a guest, click on his or her name. For every guest you edit, you will need to certify that the uploads are correct. This is discussed in detail in Tutorial 5, Standard SAT-Hosted Projects. Each guest may have a unique reason for the changes required, and each form will have its own Reason for Edit field. Complete this field with an explanation why the changes have resolved the concerns raised for each guest. When you are happy with the changes, submit the form for reconsideration. The request will move to the Pending Approval tab, where you can approve the guest list. Your hosting request will then move into the Approved tab. This concludes tutorial number 7, Managing Declined Hostings. The series includes 9 tutorials which are available on the how-to videos and booklet section of your account. This section also offers help and frequently asked questions.